There's just two breakthroughs needed. Number one, transmission. You've got to have a breakthrough in energy transmission. Those old power lines you see up there, 50 years old, that technology will not support a clean energy grid. You lose too much energy on those lines. If you try to power Boston based on some windmills, 3 states over, by the time those electrons got over here, they'd be gone. So you've got to have a breakthrough in energy transmission, and you've got to have a breakthrough in energy storage. Our batteries are outdated, they just are radically inefficient. So you've got to have some breakthroughs there. You could have an Apollo-like, Manhattan-like effort to have a breakthrough in energy transmission and energy storage. And then you've got the ability to do something extraordinary. You get to jump off the bucking bronco of oil prices, the bucking bronco of energy prices. You get to end forever the need for oil wars and resource wars. Why? You jump off of that onto a nice, flat energy future where you'll always pay for transmission services and you'll always pay for capital, but your energy inputs will be free. Sun's free, wind's free, geothermal free. Right? And when you have that, you are the strongest economy in the world. And you can sell that to every other country, or you can share it with the countries that can't afford it. And you have achieved something extraordinary. You also get to beat global warming, avoid oil wars. The clean energy grid, an all hands on deck effort to build that, and to get it built within the next 10 years, is the key to turning all of our dreams and all of our hopes into reality. Now, some people say, this is fantastic. I mean, this is la-la stuff. This guy's nuts. What's he talking about? We can't run the country off of sunshine. My car doesn't run off of sunshine. These people are crazy. It's like saying you can build green buildings that actually be more cost effective. That's just a nutty idea. We've done this before, sisters and brothers. Don't forget, we've done this before. When have we done it before? We used to have a country, allegedly, but you couldn't drive across it. Why? Because all we had was a bunch of old dirt rural roads that didn't even connect with each other. And somebody in the name of national security said, hey, wait a minute. What if some country, some enemy invades us on the West Coast? How are we going to get troops and personnel from the East Coast to the West Coast to defend the country? So in the name of national security, we created something called the interstate highway system. People went, oh, this is ridiculous. This costs too much. We can't afford it. How can we, this is just a pork barrel. We can't do it. Turned out, you couldn't afford not to do it. Because the minute you connected the country to itself, to move troops around, you could move goods around, and the economy went through the roof. The interstate highway system wound up being one of the smartest investments we ever made as a country. And it supported the entire prosperity period in ways we don't even think about anymore. Such a good thing, we did it again. We did it again. Again, in the name of national security. Somebody in the Pentagon said, hey, wait a minute. Hold on one second here. We have a big communications tower, so we can talk to each other. What if an enemy were to come? Blow that tower up? Our entire military would be blind, deaf, and dumb. We can't have that. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to create an information superhighway. We're going to distribute all the nodes for our communication purposes. And in the name of national security, we're going to do it. And people say, well, this is ridiculous. We can't afford this pork barrel spinning. We can't. It's not. It turns out you couldn't afford not to do it. The minute you connected the country to itself, the economy went through the roof. Why? That information superhighway for you young people is what we call the internet. Or internets, whatever. It's what you. the economy went through the roof. Why? Because we did it in the name of national security, but it turned out that it was the best thing we could possibly do for our economic security and our economic prosperity. Well, all we're saying is this. All we're saying is this. Just like we connected the country to itself to move bodies and vehicles around, and it was good for national security, it was also good for the economy. Just like we connected the country to itself to move data and information around, and it was good for national security, but it was also good for the economy, we now get the opportunity to move clean energy electrons around. Connect the country to itself so you can move clean energy electrons around, and the economy will go through the roof. And we have more than a national security reason now. We have an enemy, but it's an invisible enemy. And that enemy is called carbon. The enemy is called the status quo. The enemy is called indifference. The enemy is called denial. The enemy is called fear of change. And that is the enemy, that invisible enemy that threatens more than just the national security. It threatens the children of all species forever, the children and the grandchildren of all species forever. Now, in the name of global security, in the name of all life, let us engage in this endeavor. Let's engage in this effort. Let's stand together and rewire, repower, reboot America, and put millions of people to work doing it with green hard hats and work boots and hand drills. Let's put our scientists to work. Let's inspire our young people for this moonshot. And let's come together across lines of class and color and party to say this is the one thing that will be an American project. This is the one thing that we will need everybody for. The best of our environmentalists, the best of our business people, the best of our designers, the best of our labor movement, the best of our civil rights, the best of our young people, all have to come together to get this thing done. And if we get it done, when we get it done, our country will no longer be the world leader in pollution, we'll be the world leader in solutions. And that is the way that America can lead again. We can lead the world. I'm proud enough to say that America should lead the world. I'm not ashamed to say that. We should lead the world, but not in war, not in pollution rates, not in incarceration rates. We have every color, every faith, every class, every kind of person, every gender, every sexuality, every kind of person, every color in the Skittles bag, right? Every color in the Skittles bag. We even have Smurfs, right here in this country. You know, we come together. I mean, we got every color. Muppets. If we come together to get this done, we will have achieved something quite extraordinary. We will achieve something greater than what Barack Obama has achieved, as great as his achievement is. I want you to be clear about that. Because first of all, as much as, and I don't care what party you're in or who you voted for, you cannot be inspired by that young man. But who inspired him? Where did his inspiration come from? What gave him the audacity?